Alright, stuck in traffic. So it seems like a pretty good time to make a YouTube video. The Democrat National Convention is going on. I guess it's wrapping up tonight. I guess that's a good thing. The protesters are out en masse. Yeah, I guess a good time is had by all. Turns out that most of the people in the building are apparently they're paid, or they're really wealthy donors. What's his name? Cuomo was there, and he's like, yeah, those people in the booths are $500,000 a night, and the people that they say they're going to regulate and tax to death, they're the ones buying those seats, so I seriously doubt they're going to tax them. And probably a lot of truth to that, especially since Cuomo was, his entire family, generationally, were all Democrats. But I think it's great how Harris, who got less than 1% of the vote in the primary in 2020, nobody liked her, got picked for vice president. She brought nothing to the table. Nothing but skeletons for being a crooked prosecutor, by sleeping her way to the top, having no legitimate credentials whatsoever. How she became vice president is a mystery to me. Except that she's a fool and she could be a puppet, and I guess that's it. And how she did not run in the primaries. She was actually polling worse than Biden in the private polls that were being taken. And all of a sudden, they pulled Biden out because there's no way he's going to win. There's no way it's even going to be competitive. It's just going to be a complete freaking landslide. And they were worried about losing the House, losing House seats, Senate seats, and the presidency all in the same time. So they throw him out, they throw Biden out, and the woman that nobody cared for, that nobody respected, all of a sudden they make her out to be, something she's not. She picks Waltz, whose claim to fame is a war hero, but when his National Guard unit got deployed, he jumped off and ran for Congress as a war hero and became a congressman. He's got no credentials. He's got nothing to speak about. He's got nothing. So you got a fake black woman because her parents are Jamaican and Indian, and somebody looked it up, and it turned out that in Jamaica, her ancestors had a plantation and they were slave owners. So you've got the absolute worst example of a black woman who's not black. You've got this absolute fraud war hero who should be, beaten up for stolen valor. And they're being pumped up like they're, they're somebody. They're a winning ticket. And I listened to their speech, and she sounded just like Ronald Reagan. But when she and him were in Congress, they were both rated to the left of Bernie Sanders, who was a devout communist, socialist communist. When he was a representative in Vermont, and I think it was Bennington, which is a college town, and he got all the college kids to vote for him. He was the American Communist Workers' Party candidate. But then when he decided to go big time, he knew that wouldn't fly. So he became a Democrat, and with socialist leanings. Bernie Sanders still a communist. Like him or love him, hate him, despise him, it doesn't matter. He is what he is, and he admits it. And I appreciate the honesty that he puts out when he's interviewed. But when somebody's voting record is to the left of him, and then they come off, spouting this shit like they're the next Ronald Reagan, it's not true. That it's just, it's just not true. And, as soon as they're elected, Walt's trying to push through, years ago I was in the NRA, and I got real involved in their legislative action thing. And I started looking at some of the people that they were backing as, 100% support for, public office. And some of them were the worst people in the freaking world. Bill Clinton, who signed the assault weapons ban. He was NRA approved 100%. The list goes on and on. So I started asking questions like, does anybody actually, go to their house and see them and see if they actually own a gun, or they're a member of a gun range, or they know how to shoot a gun, or does anybody do anything? And John McCain was another one. He was top of their list, and he signed on to any kind of crime bill that said anything about banning guns or limiting the Second Amendment. He was all on board with. They're just the two off the top of my head, but there was dozens of them. And Harry Reid took their money for the entire time he was in office, right up to the very end. And when the time came to jump ship, he jumped ship and stabbed the NRA in the back. That's just the way the NRA operated. You put your hand out first, okay, we'll back you. But anyway, we got the worst Democrat ticket that there has ever been. The only reason I think that that Biden agreed to step aside is because when they're done with it, Kamala Harris will be the hands down worst president the United States has ever had, and he'll be off that list. The same as Jimmy Carter was excited as hell when Biden took office, because Jimmy Carter was the worst president in the history of the United States, and he got replaced by Biden. And Biden will be replaced by Harris if she should win. So anyway, that's my thoughts. That's my 2 cents during a traffic jam. And y'all take care.